Hello everybody, this is Jake from Wager Me This. Obviously this is a different camera angle. Well, today I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I am going to do a dice control video. So let's do some disclaimers. Number one, I don't consider myself a dice controller. I actually don't consider myself someone that should teach dice control. But today I'm going to show you guys what I do. Because I've had a bunch of questions about it. Hey, what are you doing? Why do you do this? I want to know. Because I don't show myself shooting, I just show the results of the rolls. Guys, the reason is because essentially I think my rolls are random. I don't think I'm special. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put out a video on dice control. All right, I'm going to use the green chips to mark them. I'll use blue chips to show point hits. And now I will use 7 out red chips or whatever. The red chips will be when I roll a 7 out. All right, we're gonna mark them on the box numbers. We're gonna mark them on the field if they're the horn bets. And if I roll a come out 7, I will mark it in the come. All right, so let's show what I can show, because I was asked to do this, guys. Not because I think I'm good at it, because I was asked to do it. All right, so here we go. I like to shoot the 6-5, 4-2. All right, 6-5-4-2. If you want to know why, I have no idea. I saw some Asian guys, that's not a racist statement. They were just 2 Asian guys do it in Colorado one time. 6-5-4-2. I hold it way up on the top edge, just like what I'm showing there. And again, guys, I don't think I'm a special dice controller. And I throw it, and I try to throw it lower to the table, and I try to make my dice just kind of skim across and barely hit that bottom 45 rubber. And that's what I do. So let's see what we got. We got a 3-deuce-5. 3-deuce-5. I shoot from stick left 1 if at all possible. Again, guys, I'm going to keep reiterating this in this video. I do not consider myself a dice controller. I don't. I do it mostly out of comfort because it makes me feel comfortable. And also because I do think in my trials and my practice that I do see some different results. But do I think there's a 7, 4-3-7. Do I think they're something manipulation against the 7? No, I don't. See, that's one thing about me and dice control is I don't think you can beat the 7. Personally, I don't think that's a possibility. So that's a 2-roller. We're going to set it right here, all of them on the C, all right, guys? Well, we can't really see that. But we'll just start there. We'll start right here. That was our first shot, 2-roller. We'll go through 10 shooters. 10 shooters, see what we get. Out of 10 shooters, if you're not rolling 8 or 9 times on at least half of them, you probably shouldn't worry about dice control too much. That's my personal opinion. There's a hard 4. If you out of that many shooters, if half of them aren't going over 8 rolls, 8, 9 rolls, probably shouldn't worry about setting and shooting the dice too much. Personal opinion. Again, guys, I'm not a professional dice controller. I'm not an expert dice controller. None of that. I just show what I'm doing because, well, people ask me to. 3-2-5. Here we go. That was a 3-2-5, not a 3-3-6. Do I think dice control can help you? Yes. But I think it helps you more so in comfort. Comfort at the table. There's a 6-4-10. That's how I want my dice to look, where they barely hit, come right back about, where they're at, and land on a good number. I don't put a lot of stock in it, guys. It's just how I'm rolling the dice. If I just grab them and chunk them down there, I feel like I'll get very similar results. The only difference is I may get a more spread out version of the results. Like it may be more wilder. Where in this version, I think I get more 8s. It seems like I get more 9s. There's a 6-1-7. I seem like I get more 8s and 9s. And some probably above average 10s. All right, so now the second roller was a 4 roller. So we had a 2 roller, a 4 roller, so I guess the next should be a 6 roller. And again, guys, I don't think I'm special at this. I don't think I'm someone that you should ask about it. I always direct people to other people that are good at it, or that are better than me at it for sure. It's a come out 5, 3 deuce. I think there's a lot of good tutorial stuff on YouTube about dice control. Guys that know way more than me. I also don't have a backswing, guys. If you care about that, I have no backswing. I just go straight forward. That's a 6-5 yoke. I just go straight forward, slide my hand across the felt, and directly at the wall. I used to have a backswing, but I think you get a wider range of landing zones with a backswing. When you just go straight forward, I think you hit the same spot more often. 5 deuce 7. Yeah, I think you hit in the same spot far more often if you have no backswing. And again, that's personal experience. Everyone's different. That's another thing I always talk about with dice control, guys. Everybody is different. No one is the same. You can shoot the exact same set as someone and get a bazillion times different results, because everyone's velocity is different, everyone's stance height, everything is different. That's a come out 7, so we're going to throw that one in the come. 4-3. And one of the things, here's something else, guys. If you're asking me about dice control to give me advice, I'm good, guys. I don't put the stock into it other people do. There's a 12. So I'm not that interested in learning more techniques on it or anything like that. I'm not. I just like to do what I like to do. I'm sure that all you guys that are going to have critiques, you're right. You're definitely right. You're going to be no more about it than I am. There's a 5-3-8. I swear I'm literally doing this because I was asked to. 5-3-8. Do I think I'll have 5 shooters over 8 rolls? I don't know. We'll see. So far, it doesn't look like that. 6-1-7. I'm only getting to 4 rolls at the most. Which, guys, I hate to tell you dice controllers out there, but that is the high majority of dice controllers I see at the table. Guys that really appear to know what they're doing, they roll 4 rolls so often. It's crazy. And then they'll look at you and go, man, my shot's just off. My shot's just off. But when you saw them land and you saw it bounce around, it looked really good. You're like, oh, that looks pretty good. But they just roll 4 roll shots. That's why that's one of the reasons I don't believe that it's possible to manipulate the 7. I don't think you can beat the 16% on the 7. There's a 4-3-7. I'm way over 16%. So am I controlling to the 7? Is that a thing? Is that a possibility? Maybe. I know that there's some dice controllers that think you can control to the 7 pretty easily. Four, 1, 5. And if I'm going to get the argument, well, I'm not a controller, I'm an influencer, I don't want to hear that either. That's crap. Look, influence, control, whatever you want to call it. You can call it fairy dust, for all I care. It's what you're trying to do. If you're out there actively trying to beat the 7, that's what you're trying to do. 6-1-7. I am actively trying to just keep rolling 7s. If I was on the don't, I would be killing it. That was a 3 roller. So I've had 5 rolls, not a single roll over 4 rolls. So if anyone believes that I was lying about not being a dice controller, This is your proof that I am not a dice controller. Or maybe I'm controlling to the 7. Maybe that's it. Maybe I need to be just playing the hop 7s. Hop them, baby, hop them. I would have been killing it, right? I had like 7 7s. 5 3 8. 5 3 8. All right, got it set up there. Can we get to 5 rolls? Let's just get to 5 rolls. Is that a possibility? 4. All right. Hey, we're at 2. We're at 2 rolls. Let me so you guys can see the 4. 3 1. 3 a 1. Now, guys, there are some guys out there, and this is one of the things I want to say. When I'm knocking dice control, I'm not knocking it in the sense that I don't believe in it. I'm knocking it in the sense that I can't do it, and it frustrates me that I can't do it. Not consistent enough to matter. 5 4 9. But there are some fellers out there, some ladies and some guys out there, the guys that they can do it. They can do it repeatedly, roll 8 9 rolls, 10 rolls. That's pretty amazing. Can I? Nah. 6 deuce 8. Hey, we got our first point hit. We got to put a blue chip out there. Look at that. Super Dice Controller in action. I also don't change my set around very much on the light side. I know a lot of people do. That's I don't understand that. I don't understand that concept. It doesn't make sense to me. Now I get that people are trying to manipulate the outcome by seeing what happened and have an idea of how it bounced, but that's just one result you're manipulating the outcome off of. That's what I don't understand about it. Why aren't you manipulating the outcome C4 or 5 rolls, 10 rolls, 100 rolls before you do that? That's what I don't understand about that. Here we go. 5 1 6. And one of my best buddies on YouTube, he does that. He's the best at that, I would say, about reading the dice, as he calls it. And I don't understand why he changes after every roll. To me, it doesn't make sense, but he's obviously really good at it, so there's something to it. He knows how to do it, I just don't. Hard 8 square pair. That's how I like my rolls. I like them to just barely touch that back wall, just bounce down, real soft right down the middle. Now, when people put money in the field and they're on the end of the table with big stacks, it kind of sucks. It affects me a lot. 4 1 5. But when there's not, I have usually a pretty clear path, and I like that. I obviously don't want to be bouncing off a bunch of stuff down there. This is our 6th shooter. This is our best one by far. It's almost as many rolls by itself as the other ones were together. Hard 4. You almost have all the box numbers as well. No horn numbers. No horn numbers, which is unique. 6 5 1. Oh, that was not a hard 4, it was a 6. Seven out. Okay. That was by far our best one, right? By far our best one. It's not even close. That was actually a really good roll. We had 1 point hit in there. It was a 6 1 7 if you care about the number themselves. We had 2 9s, 3 8s, 2 6s, 1 5, and 2 4s. So that's a really good roll. Ten 11 roller with 1 point hit. 11 roller, 1 point hit. That's a good roll for me. I mean, if I had that, I'd be thrilled. 4, 3, 1. Yeah, I would be 100% ecstatic with an 11 roller. That's our point. Hard for it. That's what I mean to do right there every time, guys. Just roll a point, hit the point. Roll a point, hit the point. Yeah, right. I mean, definitely with a 4. I'm never gonna repeat that very often. Six, 1, 7, but it's on the come out. It's on the come out. So we're still alive, still alive. A lot of people like to come out 7. I tend to not like to come out 7 because it tends to knock off my bonus. So I like to play the ATS, so I'm not a fan of it. That's a short roll 6, that accounted it on the come out for sure. Just probably wouldn't have had to give up no money for it. They tend to only not count them when they have to pay you. Oh, that's short. But if it's a 7, they always count it. Five, all right. This is how I like my shots to end up. Just a couple inches from the wall, barely touch it. Now, obviously, you want to hit the wall because that's the rules. Most places you have to hit the wall with at least 1 dice. You want to know why most places you only have to hit the wall with 1 dice? I'll tell you. Because if 1 dice hits the wall and goes random, let's say the other one is completely controlled, and 1 dice hits the wall and go random, that means it has a 1 out of 6 chances that it's going to roll a 7, which is the exact same as both dice. 5, 4, 9. That's why most places just care about 1 dice, because it actually doesn't change the percentage, whether it's 1 or 2. Five, 3, 8. This is another pretty good roll. Like if I rolled this roll, I had the point hit 4, and then I had, okay, so that was a come out, so I would have had 3 other winners on the way I play, and I would have been pretty thrilled with this roll. I would have been doing pretty well already. So this kind of roll is good for me. I'm happy here. Three, 2, 5. And again, guys, I shoot what's referred to as a par shot. If you don't know dice control, you won't know what I mean. If you do, you'll know exactly what I mean. It just means I throw them straight. I don't spin them or nothing like that. Traditional type grips. There's 5 deuce. And that's all that means. It's not a helicopter shot or some kind of push shot. So that was a pretty good roll. How many was it total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total. Okay. 9 total rolls. So far we're cutting it. We just have to, all the rest of them have to be similar. There's a 3. We haven't rolled hardly any horn numbers, which is unusual. Usually when I roll, I get a lot of 3s and 11s because of the, I think that comes from the set that I roll. I know people may believe or not believe that, but I do think that happens. There's a 12. Here we go. No horn numbers now. Back to back. Oh, come back here. Now, if you're on the ATS, that's a pretty good start. Now, you probably lost some money on the line, which sucks. But if you're on the ATS, that's a pretty good start. Especially if you can smack the 11 here. There's an 8. It's going to be our point. 5, 3. 5, tray 8. All right. So one of the problems with the horn numbers is if you're not a horn player, they're dead rolls. So consider being a horn player. Horn is cheap to play. You can play the C and E for basically nothing. 6, hard 6. You can put money on the C and E. $2 a lot of places, $2. You get all the horn numbers right there. C and E. Think about that. $2. That way they're not dead rolls. At least you win something. 4, 1, 5. If you want to get real frisky, throw out $5 and have a horn high yo. I prefer 3C2E, but I know a lot of people like horn high yo, horn high 3. There's a 6, 5, 1. When I'm going to bet $5 on the horn, I like C and E because I get C for $21 winner and E for a $30 winner. 5 deuce. Oh, I didn't cut it. That's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th roll. So that's a borderline roll. Borderline. Problem is we had some horn numbers, so if you weren't playing the horn, it wasn't a good roll. But it's definitely better than the 4 rollers and the 2 rollers. Let's just push that one over there too. There we go. So we have, that's our 8th shooter. We're on number 9, number 10. Can we get a good one? 5. 4, 1, 5. So a good roll to me, guys, like if you're a player and you're shooting light side, the good roll to me is if you have a bunch of 6s and 8s in the roll. You can really have nothing else. If you had a 6 roller, but it was 2 6s and 3 8s and then a 7, that was probably okay. There's a 6 deuce 8. So that's what I like. I want it to be a bunch of numbers you actually have money on. That's the ones I like. Four the hard way. That was a weird rollout. Whoa, come back here. You're not a 5, you're a 4. Hard 4. So again, guys, I want to reiterate this. I said this at the beginning. I don't consider myself dice controller. I do it because it makes me feel comfortable. I do it because I like it. 9, 5, 4, 9 on a shorty. Right there, they would have given me a warning. They would have counted that one. They would have given me a warning. And it's like, all right, man, you got to hit the back wall. Six, 3, 9. But just keep, if you're going to try to be a dice controller, guys, just keep what your expectations are, keep them very reasonable. Don't think you're going to jump out here and roll 20 rollers every shot. You're not. You're not going to do it. 5, 4, 9. Keep that expectation highly reasonable. Start low. Start saying, hey, can I roll 5 every shot? Try to get there. 3. This This is a good roll so far. All those nines. We would have been hitting that 9 every time. So that's good for us. $10, okay. Hard way, hard 10. Hard 10. $617. So as you guys could tell, even on my good rolls, and this was by far my best roll because of the way it rolled. Even on the good rolls, so I had a 1 winner here, likely, a winner there, 3 winners there, and a winner there. This wouldn't have been a winner because I'd have probably been off, or maybe not, but either way, because of the 9, because you would have likely probably put some more money on it, so that would have been probably a pretty good roll. It's not a hard 8, guys. How many was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, last shooter. Last shooter. So we need one that's at least 7 here. At least 7. And if we had one that's 7, we probably broke even on the day. Probably broke even or really close to broke even. If we get to 10 or 12, we probably made a little money. There's a 9. $639. Hard 4, 2 2s. The ballerina. 2 2, 2 2. Oh, we are a loser. 5 deuce 7 on the leader. I didn't get enough juice on the wall there, so that was not a PSO but a PPSO. 3 roller. 3 roller is even worse than the PSO because you probably convinced yourself you're gonna be okay. So overall, I mean, we did bad. Like, that would have been a losing run of 10 shooters if we were just playing light side, if we were just relying on shooting, and even just half pressing. Now, we would have had 4 winning shots probably, but we would have had 6 losing shots. So that's 60 to 40. That's not good. That's going to be a loser. And this is the things this is why I want to explain to people about dice control. Dice control is a very tricky part of craps. If you're going to be really involved in craps, most people that get really involved in craps, they tend to lean dice control. And you have to be very honest with yourself on your dice control. You have to be very honest and think, okay, I'm not going to make it past 4 rolls very often. So I need to have my money in and out of the game by 4 rolls. All right? Now, if you make it past 4 rolls, great. You're going to make a little extra money. But if you keep your strategy based in about 4 rolls, and then everything after that's just bonus. And guys, that's the way, if I'm going to advise any kind of dice controllers, play a strategy where you're in and out of the hand within 4 rolls, and then you're just playing with profit. Because if you're going to rely on repeatedly rolling 9, 10 rollers, it's going to be hard to convince me that you're a winner. It's going to be hard to convince me that you're a consistent winner. Just because my experience says that doesn't happen at the tables. Out of 10 shooters at the table, you're probably going to see 4 10 rollers, or maybe even less, maybe 3 10 rollers. And so unless you just played those perfectly, you probably didn't make back what you saw on the guys that didn't go. Now, if you play through 5 orbits at the table, let's say there's 10 people at the table, you play through 5 orbits, and you manage and survive through 5 orbits, likely within that 5 orbits, which is 50 shooters, you probably saw a 30 roller or at least 20 roller. So you should be making your money on those rolls if you're surviving. And again, guys, that's the anomaly. About once every 50 shooters or so, you're going to see that. Now, I know people are like, man, I've seen it back to back. I've seen it 7 times in a row. Well, there's probably spikes like that, but how many times did you see guys roll 4 shots in a row or less? 13, 14 times? So again, guys, keep your expectations with dice control very, very, like, ultra reasonable. Like, whatever you think is reasonable, if you think 4 shots is reasonable, drop it to 3. If you think 5 shots is reasonable, drop it to 4. That way, you're even more reasonable than you're already thinking. And that will help you a lot with dice control. Then it won't feel so bad when you get up there and you're not able to do it. When you get up there and all you do is lose money because you're relying on it. If you keep that idea reasonable. But anyways, guys, thank you for your time. And this is for the people. There was multiple people that asked me about how I shoot and what I'm shooting and all that over the last 2 or 3 months. So this is for you guys. Like I said, I don't think I'm special at this. I don't even really think I'm good at it. Obviously, my rolls here prove that. So, again, guys, thank you for your time. This is Jacob from Wager Me This.